this was your first record deal, I mean, I mean, from doing a cover band to going straight into BLACKstreet, with the legendary Teddy, um, that's quite a big sort of jump in the. How did the family
Well,
take the set of
oh,
sudden shot to fame?
oh man, I was like Michael Jackson, man. Now it was incredible. I mean, it was a dream come true, and I had to kind of it was an adjustment, you know what I mean? Because I kind of prepared myself for stuff like that. So I think the only weird thing was my expectation of the music business, you know, was a little clouded. You know what I mean? Once I got there and I saw, what people say, what's the saying? The grass being good on the other side.
Yeah.
Well, when I got to the grass, it didn't look quite like good on that side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the only, to me, was the only weird part, that, but it made it weird, because I started seeing things that it's like, wow, it took the fun out of a lot of it.
Yeah.
The music was the thing. And when it was fresh, you just got the deal and everything. And, all your friends seeing you, that was the beauty of that. That was the good time,
Yeah.
All my friends saw, especially my guys, the old guys from the group,
Oh,
the
yeah,
guys that
yeah.
I started out with on the corner with the cans and, my first bass guitar, my buddies I went to school with and all my high school friends. And, oh man, that right there was something, and it was an inspiration to a lot of other guys too from the neighborhood,
Yeah.
to see a guy that started, from where, from the dirt, man, and then made it, I'm on Soul Train. You know what I mean? That was something, man. Like
Yeah.
my aunt, I got an aunt, she's old school. She just passed this summer.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Now I did MTV,
Yeah. Yeah.
we did David Letterman, all this stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's not making it big to her. To her, that don't mean anything until you do Soul Train. She's
Oh.
from that.
Oh,
So,
don't do it.
let me tell you a story, right? So I'm at my sister's house, right? And my sister lived downstairs from my aunt. And so I'm over her house. And, Soul Train is pre-recorded. Like you come
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they tape it, and then they'll play it like maybe a month later.
Yeah.
So we was on Soul Train. We shot the whole part we did Before I Let Go. I think it was in Booti Call and Joy. So I'm down at my sister's house. And my aunt comes, she ran downstairs. She said, "Hey, you're on Soul Train. You made it big." so it's funny. So she said, "But how are you sitting here and you're on the TV?" I said, "Auntie, that's the magic of TV." I said, they pre-recorded. She never understood it. She thought everything was live.
It was live. Yeah. Yeah.
That right there, that was an awesome moment for me. That right
Wow.
there meant more to me than a lot of things, man. And my mom. And then having my mom come to a concert, right? So now my mom and my aunt is at the concert. Somehow they managed to get their way up to the front of the stage, sort of like, and like these girls screaming and stuff. And I'm looking out there and I'm seeing my mom like this. What are you doing, man?
Oh,
But that right there that was great, man. I mean, to see her, because she seen, my mom was like one of my biggest supporters, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was like seeing, her investment paid off.
Yeah. Yeah. But then
Yeah.
but then also the first album critically was really a success, and it had a very different range, and it was not like anything else that was out there.
No.
It was in a very different lane from what Jodeci were doing, from what Intro
Mhm.
were doing, or anyone else, and it went platinum plus. Um,
Mhm.
were you guys, I wouldn't say surprised, but the success you guys had off the back, brand new group, I don't know how much of that was Teddy Riley having the name and people thinking, oh, let's see what he's coming out with, or that the music itself standing on its own?
Well, let's put it like this: having Teddy produce it sure didn't hurt. You know what I mean? It sure didn't hurt. Yeah, a lot of that came off of course, he had the popularity at the time. I mean, coming off of the Guy situation.
Yeah.
What's those guys? Tony Thompson and those guys.
Yeah. The High Five, yeah, Michael Jackson, yeah.
Yeah, he had the Midas touch at the moment, and we were right there in the mix. So we kind of like helped change. I want to say took his sound to another level. You know what I'm saying? And which set up the other level album. You know.
Yeah, we'll get there, but
so you and Mark go through this all the time, man. You know.
Yeah, but then as I said, the first track was Booti Call, which was okay. Didn't do it was okay. It wasn't until Before I Let You Go came out, the video with Omar Epps, and I can't remember the other lady in the video, and that was like, and that was the slow song that simmered up the charts and really just off of the back of that. Then the thing is, the other tracks, like I Like the Way You Work.
Now No Diggity came from that. I Like the Way You Work.
Okay.
The original track, I Like the Way You Work, and LL Cool J did a remix with us of that.
Oh.
And that hook came from LL Cool J. LL Cool J did I Like the Way You Work, Girl, No Diggity. I got to bag it up.
Wow.
LL Cool J. Yeah, that's where that came from. That was the original track. We did because we were gonna come out with that as a single. And a lot of times what Teddy does is when he do singles, he like to do the remixes at the same time. So we had LL Cool J come down and do the rap. He was doing the rap on that, the remix of that song. And that's
Did that get released?
Never got released.
Maybe that's why, because I would have heard that, because
I do have a copy of it though.
Well, oh goodness. But back in those days, you guys would have because my favorite version of Joy was the one with the Keith Murray sample on the back of it. Yeah. The Most Beautiful Girl, just like that, and that was my favorite version of Joy. And the video was really good too.
Yeah. That was my daughter, man. My daughter's like, she was a baby. Yeah, man. That was, and all our daughters was in that video.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, It was, and I think I like the fact he had the orchestra out there and stuff. It actually was a throwback to Let's Chill. It had that sort of feel to it. So, and it really,
Yeah, it was. We used a 30-piece orchestra, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Charlie Chapman's sound stage where he used to do all the little movies at, and big shout out to Jeremy Lubbock. He was the director,
the conductor. Yeah. He used him quite a bit. Yeah, he used him quite a bit. So then, did you guys get to do a lot of touring off the back of the album?
Yes, man. Wow. Yeah, man. We toured, man. We went all through Europe, man, Germany. But I gotta say, we're touring more though now than we did back then, though, because Teddy had so many obligations. Like at one point, we did Japan without Teddy one time because he had to do Michael Jackson, and it went well. It went well because when we came home, it got crazy, but it was great.
Okay. So you did all this tour. You did all these tours, and then they get ready for doing another level, and then we find out.
I didn't catch the whole question. You kind of
no. So you guys, the album as it goes platinum plus, singles are big, and you guys then come back from the tour and get ready to start working on another level. But then you seem to you and Dave leave the group, and we see Mark and Eric.
I walked away from the group. A lot of people try to say, "Oh, we kicked Levi out." Nah, we did Japan, and it was a lot of stuff going on. A lot of, the one that's that side I was telling you about in the music business. What I didn't like. I didn't get into it for that. So I just never came back, man. I just left. And I think Dave did the same thing. And of course they, you know, they had, you know, I don't know if it was an intentional thing to have them come, but well, what happened was Chauncey automatically knew Eric. So he got Eric in the group. And I don't know what was the situation with Mark and Teddy and how that worked out, but obviously they got him in the group. And I know them, but you know, then I went on and did a solo thing, and Dave went and did a solo thing, and had fun.
Yeah. So I guess you know, and then this way we want to get back to the part of the actual business side of the music industry. I was talking to somebody recently, and I said that if you were an NBA player, or if you played football or anything, you've got your talent. Your team gives you a guaranteed contract, and you get bonuses because they want to protect the assets because you're a good player. It's only the music industry that has amazing talent that seems to say we're going to rob you blind and take away the joy that makes you creative. And it's very strange because if you played football, you'd get your advances, you get everything. You sing, you do, or you play. Even if you're an actor, they make sure they pay you. But if you sing, it just seems different. And I that the business.
Well, yeah. If you understand, if you kind of go back in time, the music business was built on some shady individuals. You know what I mean? So, you know, I believe it or not, before I got the deal with Teddy, before I got in the group, a lot of guys that I knew advised me. They said, "Hey, man, you sure you want to get in that group, man? Because he's gonna get you. I mean, he's gonna screw you. This is the word." And I said to myself, "Well, let me look at that. I can stay here, be in a cover band, and be inside here, or I can go here, get screwed up here, and hopefully I can land on my feet." You know what I mean? And that's the chance I took. Did I get screwed? I wouldn't say. Was it the greatest thing? The greatest thing was meeting the guys I'm with now, the music, traveling the world. I made some money, not the money I wanted, you know, what I should have gotten, but you know, and I'm being positive about it. You know, it was some dark. It was some darkness there, you know. But I just vowed to not do a lot of. I don't like to say a lot of negative things, you know. But keeping it real for the fans and people, up and coming music, you know, artists. You just be true to yourself, man, and don't get caught up in the fame thing, you know, because I think what happens with people coming into business, you know, it's a visual thing. So you see videos, you see all these made up things like these cars, the girls and all that stuff, and it's an attraction, you know. But you got to understand this business. It's the business of music, not the music business.
Yeah.
The good thing was I did understand that coming in. So that was one of the reasons why I walked, because I said, you know, I saw some things and I said, well, before I go to the point of being like this madman, let me just walk.
Yeah.
And rebuild, you know, because I understand the business. I knew how to do certain things.
Yeah.
And God gave me this talent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. He gave me this talent. Can't nobody, it's not to be controlled well, if I'm gonna use my talent with somebody, I just need to get paid. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. You know? But it was. We had some dark times, but I had a lot of fun doing my solo thing. It was
but I wanted to get to that because you what year did you leave the group, Shirley? So we can get the timing.
It was like 95, right? It was like the album was. We were like a year in, I think. Okay. And then it got kind of crazy, you know. So.
Yeah. So then 95. So this is before they start working on the second is when you leave.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when you leave, what did you think you'd want to do next? I mean, it was being a solo deal automatic, or what was your thoughts? Another group, or?
Nah, I wanted to do a solo thing. I mean, I had no choice, you know. I love doing the group thing because it's fun when you got, you know, it felt weird, you know, being on my own, but I had to, you know, had to revert back to the cover band guy, you know, being a front singer guy, you know, that was scared playing the bass and had to get out there. So
yeah,
it was a little weird. It was weird, you know, but the smart thing I did was when I was in the group and I didn't take my money and use it in crazy ways, you know.
Okay, you didn't buy mink coats or pink
No,
pink Mercedes and all of that. Okay.
I'm a very modest guy, you know, because I had kids, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
So the first thing I did with my money was I bought some property. Wow. You know, and then I bought another piece of property, and I built me a studio in my house. I took some of my earnings and built a really nice studio in my garage, and I recorded my whole album myself. You know,
wow.
I had people like Bruce Hornsby on my album.
Wow.
I did a lot of work in that studio, you know. So that's the thing that sustained me. And that's what I would say to artists. You really, really got to understand, like, don't get caught up in all these material things, you know. Those things are like, they come and they go, you know what I'm saying? You know, and I was modest with it. You know, I love cars, but I'm into classic cars, you know. Okay. And I'm like, and when I'm not playing music, I'm working on cars, you know. So yeah. I didn't value that like some people value that having these big cars and stuff like that. Stuff that's really not my style, you know. Yeah. But yeah, I was very, very conscious at keeping my money straight, you know.
Yeah, yeah. But then when you record the album, what about getting a distribution for your album and stuff? How easy or hard was that?
Oh, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I originally, along with a partner of mine, put up my own money. And well, first, before that, when I left the group, a couple of friends of mine took me over to Def Jam Records, and I had a meeting with Russell Simmons and Leon Cohen's, and I'm gonna keep it real. I had a deal over there, and I think the word got back to Teddy, and word is that he put a monkey wrench in it. Okay. But that's the word. I don't, you know, because one minute we got a deal, the next day I come there, and then Leo Cohen's just asking me all these crazy questions, and I'm like saying, what do you mean by this? What do you mean by that? And I'm like, well, look. So I walked away from that. I said, look, when you guys are ready to do a real deal with me, y'all got my number, call me. I walked away from it. Because I thought it was weird that it was certain things that came up in the meeting that it sounded like monkey wrench. You know what I mean? So I said, I don't want no part of that stuff. So I said, you know, let me go home, rethink this out, revamp. And then I went the independent route. Because I figured like this. I said, well, everybody know me from BLACKstreet, you know. They know my sound. Let me try this. So I went out, took 10 grand, did my own CD. And lo and behold, before I could sell 1,000 CDs, I got a call from a guy named Ken Wilson. Big shout out to Ken. Ken called me and my partner. He said, listen, I want to set up a meeting with you guys in New York. So we flew down to his penthouse, sit down and talk. Lo and behold, Ken Wilson ran the black music department at MCA Records. Oh. Bad dude. I learned so much from this guy. You know, he had a lot to do with bringing Casey and JoJo back. He's him, Eddie Sims. These guys are like legends in the music business. So, long story short, Ken signed me to his independent deal. Gave me, I mean, it was incredible. I made tons of money from that album. It was like, wow. So what they did was they said, listen, we love what you're doing, bam, bam, bam. Here's a budget for this. Just stop selling that album. Because the original album was green. It was a green album. And all they did was took the songs from that album and repackaged them in their album.
Wow.
So he had a label with BMG. BMG was the distributors back then.
Yeah.
And it was me, the girl Olivia was with 50 Cent.
Okay.
She was signed to his label, and the two big guys, what do they call themselves? They always in the movies. The one that was in the movie with the Clumps with Eddie Murphy, it was called Big Time and something else about the movie. So they signed them to a label. They would get ready to come out with a record, and so that we were all on the same label and stuff. And Yo-Yo, matter of fact, Yo-Yo did some songs with me on my solo record. And that's what it was, man. I had a good time with that. Again, it still felt weird. I wasn't with the group,
But how did the album do?
It did good for me. I mean, Pick Up the Phone was the single. It went 28 on the charts. I mean, I ended up coming to London. I came to Germany. I was touring. It was doing good. And then the label folded. So I mean, but I got paid off of it,
Okay.
And the funny thing is, I'm still getting a lot of fans are hitting it up and saying, "Hey, man, when did you do this Pick Up the Phone record?" So I said, "Hey, it was done, I don't know, maybe one day we may revamp it or something,
Yeah.
Pick up the phone. Come on. Pick up the phone. Oh, yeah. Come on, conversation slow on by a lit candle as we wine and dine. I wanna know your mind. We can take our time, getting to the point. Girl, you know the signs. 'Cause if you're ready, you know I'm steady for you, baby. Pick up the phone and just call me. I'll be right there. Baby. When you're lost and you're lonely, when you're lost and you're lonely, to satisfy your every need. I'll be the one. Yeah. All you got to do is call me. All you got to do. Pick up the phone and just call me. I'll be right there. When you're lost and you're lonely, I'll be the one to satisfy your every need. Whatever you want, all you got to do is call me. Any way that you want it, baby, I'll do it like you like it, baby. Anytime that you need it, call me and I will be there, baby. Pick up the phone and just love and care. Someone you know will always be there. All you got to do is call my phone when you're lost, when you're alone. Pick up the phone and just call me. I'll be right there. When you're lost and you're lonely, I'll be the one to satisfy your every need. You can just call me on the phone, lady. Pick up the phone and just call me. I'll Baby, just